Alright, I am back with another video. I was definitely right. Remember, I was short this market coming into Monday. Okay, I lost a little on that, and then I shorted here and here. Okay, so lost $25, right? And one of the reasons why I got out of this trade a little early right in here, as I told you on the last video, was I believed that the market was strong and that the market would continue to go higher. Now, why I didn't buy it, I don't know. I just knew it was going higher. The internals are extremely strong at this point, so it told me that the market should continue going higher. It did, and so what I decided to do is I put just a small trade in. Okay, 2 contracts, shorted 2 at 21.24 1/4. The all-time high in the E-mini S&P 500 is 21.24, 21.24 1/2. So I sold it 1 tick below the all-time high in the E-mini futures, expecting some type of reaction off of that level, and so that's what we're getting. So let me show you a daily chart. All right, take a look at this. So essentially the market has it really bounced from this 200 exponential moving average. This is a daily chart, okay, the E-minis. And look at today's high is 21.24 1/2. Look at the all-time high right here. 21.24 1/2 that was put in place on May 20th. Today's high, 21.24 1/4 rather. So we are testing these highs. Now, last time we tried to test them, we failed by about a point or two, came down, took out these lows. Now we're at the all-time highs again. So this is critical of where the market potentially will go from here. So I think it's important watching the market today to see where the market's going to close. I mean, if we can close a couple points higher than 21.24 1/2, okay, then I think we got the possibility of going a lot higher. But we'll watch this. So this is an intraday trade, right? So I'm looking for some type of reaction. So essentially what I've done, as you can see on this 3-minute chart now, I've measured from what I like to call an active low here, from this low up to the high. And then the low of today, right, Monday the 20th, is this low to high. So I'm going to measure that, keep me in a broader perspective of just today, okay? Now, we all know that the trend is up. We're testing a real significant high on the daily chart. But now I want to know what the last swing up that took us to that high, those numbers, right? Potential support numbers. And if we start breaking down through the 60, let's say, the last leg up, then I think we could go and trade down to the 38.2 of the entire day's up move. So I'm keeping these on my screen to kind of keep me in perspective here. So again, I'm short here. I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to see what type of pullback we're able to get. All right, I am back. Finally, the market is moving lower. We moved a little higher. We took out the all-time highs of 24 1/2. Traded up to 21.24 3/4. Took out the all-time high by only 1 tick. We failed. We've come down. We've come down all the way down to 22 1/2. Remember, we're short at 24 1/4. I'm going to look to take 1 off at 22 3/4. Okay. Look at this. We're gonna let's see, because this market's still strong. I definitely expect this market to come back up and retest the high of the day. There's no doubt about that. 22 3/4. Okay. Well, look at this. We're getting a bounce here. As expected. So this was a little aberration here. The move the upside. This move to the downside here rather. So I'm going to take 1 off at 22 3/4. I fully expect this market to at least come down at 22 3/4. Try to retest these lows before potentially heading higher. That'll leave me with only 1 contract left. Then I'm going to decide what to do down in here. So hopefully I want to take 1 off, and I'll be back short. All right, I am back, and the market did in fact come back down. Took me out of half of the position. So you see this trade right from this low. So right here, we're trading at 22 1/2. Remember, we're short here of 24 1/4. Okay, remember, this trade is based on the market testing the all-time highs in the E-mini S&P 500 futures. Okay, the all-time high was 21.24 1/2, made on May 20th. And today, on an intraday basis, we actually took that out by 1 measly tick, 1 minimum price fluctuation. And I thought that would be an area which to short and to get something out of it to the downside, of course, right? So as you can see, let's just crunch this chart up a little bit more, right? This is the low. The low of the day is right here. The high is right here. Okay, so we measured from the low of the day, high of the day, this low to high, So on the smaller set of fib retracements from this last pivot low right here to high, you can see that we're at the 61.8. Okay? If we are able to close down through the 21.22.5, I would expect the market to try to drop down to the 38.2 of the entire day's up move from low to high. Okay, so I'm watching it very closely in here. Again, we took off half the position. Okay, and let's be a little patient here. Okay, so let's see. My stop is going to be pretty much at break even now for the time being, 24.25. Okay, buy 24.25 right there, right, break even. The chances are I will not be using that because I'm going to watch this very closely. I want to see if we can close below 21.22.5. We're right there right now. I want to see it close below it. I'm going to watch it very closely. If we close in the bottom quarter of this bar or bottom third of the bar that we're currently on, then I'd have my stop above the current bar's high, 23.25. But I want to see where it closes. I'll be back. All right, I am back. I just went ahead and moved that stop down to 21.23.25, locking in 1 full point on the remaining part of the position right here. I am also short bond futures, and we're at about break even right now, and I'll show you that trade in a minute. If I'm stopped out of this, I will move over to the bonds, and I will work that trade for you as well. All right, so let's go. All right, I am back, and it took me out here. So let's see, just up $100 open close right here. Close out $100 in profits so far in the E-minis. And again, that was partly due holding the trade over Friday night to today. It would have been up a lot more if I hadn't had that position, but no big deal. Up 100 here. And let's switch to the bonds real quick and show you this trade. All right, now we're looking at the bond futures. Bond futures. Shorted this market right here at 26. Right. Market went a little against me here. If it had closed up here above that 50% from high right here to low. I mean, really the trade of the day was the retest of this high right here, but I missed that trade. I was looking at something else. That was a great shorting opportunity, missed that. But the market did come back down, took out this pivot low here. And so I sold an immediate pullback, looking for the market to react back down to retest this low, and that's exactly what we're doing. And I should have had a buy limit at 22, but I'm going to put that at 151.22 now, and that's these lows right here. I think originally I had it in and I pulled it, thinking it would go lower. 151.23. I'm going to look to exit at 151.22 and try to remain patient here. At 151.22 right here. Right at those lows, take this off. All right, that's where we're at. So we've locked in 125 from the earlier trade today. I mean, if you take a look and if you remember back to that earlier trade, I was in fact expecting it to come back up to retest those highs. That's why I was buying it right in here, right? Market kind of got sloppy, didn't feel comfortable, exited the trade, right? And as you can see, the market did come up and test those highs. So again, we're short. We'll see if we can get out a half of the position on the retest of this low, and then we'll manage it from there. So we'll see. I'll be back. Remember, the bonds close at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Okay? They close at 3 o'clock. So I want to be out of this position before the close. So we'll see what happens. All right, so I went ahead and took off one at that 23, 151.23, as you can see. And I've got all right, my last contract was hit at 151.21. So not bad. And the bonds up $375 today. And again, that was trading 2 contracts. Right? Trading 2 contracts means every single price movement, right, which is a 31/32, there's 31 ticks in a full point, right, times $31.25, right? Which means a full basis point move from high to low of the day is $1,000, right? So if you only trade 2 contracts and you're able to get out 3, 4, 5 ticks, I mean that does add up. So again, today I only traded at 2 contracts at a time. You know, the first little trade I had amounted to $125, and then this trade amounted to $250. Okay, and you pretty much pick these off all day long. Okay, so that adds up, right? 250, 125 is 375. That's not bad. So you can add that to your arsenal, trade the futures if the futures aren't setting up. So I like to go in between, trade not only the E-mini S&P futures, but the bonds. I like the Dow. Okay, these are all great markets to create a daily income. So hopefully that helps, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.